Hey gang, how are you all doing? Hope everybody is really well, and welcome to week 11. Yes, it is hard to believe, week 11, our penultimate week of the term. I know my head is kind of way up here this week, but that's because I want to just get a little bit closer into what we're doing today, so I'll move things around a little bit. But don't worry about that, this is what's important. Welcome to week 11, as I say. Good, really good. Lovely to have so many of you with us in our pre-record. So, first thing, as always, I need you to find your week 11 bag. So, go into your big yellow or white bags that we sent you guys over, and you're going to look for week 11. Now, week 11 is a little bit different. In that we will be kind of crossing over materials a little bit. So it's really important when we go through the bag that you just remember that. Okay. So if we take our week 11 bag 1, you'll find it's really heavy. This is one of these ones, and the reason it's really heavy is because in there we've got loads of these, which is sand, because we are doing sand art this week. So you'll find in here, if you go through all of your bags, you're going to have a red bag, an orange bag, a yellow bag, a green bag, a blue bag, and a purple bag or an indigo-y violet, whichever way you want to look at it this week. So you're going to have one bag for each. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is, as you can see what I've done, I've laid out on a sheet of white paper. You know, it doesn't have to be on white paper, it's just really easy for you guys to see it while I do it on white paper. If you've got little bowls, you could put the sand into individual little bowls, but I'm just putting them in nice neat little piles. Now I've done them in a straight line. You guys could, you know, put them in a bit of an arc, slightly wider apart so they don't mix together. But what's really important, because we're going to be using the sand across task 1 and task 2 this week. So when you put your sand out on your table or in your bowls, however you want to do it, only for this first task, only use half. So only pour about it. It's not to be measured perfectly, or you can use a quarter, and then if you run out while we're doing this, pour a little bit more out. So only pour out a little bit to start with, and then if you need a little bit more, pour it out. But we want to, just in case you're not going to do task 1 and task 2 back to back. I know some of you guys like to do task 1 and then save task 2 for another day during the week, and that's absolutely cool. But when we do our lives, we always do our 2 tasks back to back. So for you guys watching me on my pre-records, don't pour all of your sand out at once, just in case you're going to come back to task 2 later. Okay, that's it really. You also don't have to pour them all out at the same time. Okay, you can pour them out one at a time as you go. That might be an easier way and stops them getting all kind of mixed up and crazy hands going all over the place. That being said, pause me and you can prep yourself. Get your bags out. So like I said, I can go through, I'll pull them all out with you guys. So you're going to have loads of these. You're going to have all the bags with all the different colours. You guys will also have a white one in there. And then of course we're going to have what we're going to be doing, which is our lovely rainbows. Try and get that out of the light. My lights are very bright. Our lovely, beautiful rainbows. Now, for those of you who haven't done sand art before, don't worry, I'll explain it all. It makes complete sense. So I'm going to put all these back in my bag, because I've already prepped my colours. So you guys can pause me, and then when you get your bags out, just pour a little pile of red. Okay, let's just start with that one, and we'll go from there. Okay, good. So, for those of you who have unpaused me, welcome back. Now, as I said, today we're going to be doing our rainbows. Now, for those of you who haven't done sand art before, if you have a close look at your rainbows, you'll see that they're basically they're yellow, and they've got these black outlines. Now, each one of these little black outlines, hold on a bit closer so you guys can see. There you go. Each one of those little black outlines is a sticker, okay? And all we're going to do is, if you look carefully, you'll be able to see the little lines beside those black lines. And with a little finger, and this is where you're going to have to help your little people, big people, we're just going to peel. So I'm going to lift up one side just to show you exactly how it happens. So you can see I hold it up like that, and all we're going to do is pull off one of those little yellow pieces that will come away, and you're left with this white. Now that white is all sticky. That's the sticky bit, okay? And what we're going to do, I'm going to do the first one just to show you guys, so don't rush in right now, is I've started at the bottom with the small one because I want to start small one. So it's our last colour, which is going to be our indigo, okay, or violet. So all we're going to do is where it's sticky, we're going to get our fingers into our little pile of sand, and we're going to pinch, and we're going to just sprinkle, okay? We're going to pinch, and we're going to sprinkle. Now what's good about this is you don't have to be super, super neat. So you'll probably see mine has kind of gone all over the other yellow ones. That's fine, because the way that our sand art works is when you sprinkle it on like that, and as you can see, you don't use that much from my pile. You get a little finger, and we're just going to rub it in, little tiny little circles. And again, don't worry about the sand that goes on the yellow stuff, that goes on the yellow bits of it, because what happens then is you can take it, tip it over, give it a little tap, and what gets left behind is just the sand stuck to the little white, okay? And that's what makes this so cool and so easy, okay? What's really important is that little rub. Don't push down too hard and you get a little rub, okay? So it looks a bit like that. Hope you guys got the idea. So we're going to start. So hopefully you guys have poured out your red. Now, if we look at our arches, the red is going to be the top, so we're going from the top to the bottom. Now, for those of you who don't know your colours of the rainbow, a really easy way to remember is a little poem, and it's called "Richard of York gave battle in vain." Okay, so Richard of York gave battle in vain, and why that makes it so easy to remember is because the first letter of each word corresponds to the first letter of the colour. So we have Richard, a R, which is a red, of, which is orange, York, which is yellow, gave, which is a G, which is green, a B, battle, which is a blue. On a true rainbow, we would have an I, which would be indigo, which is a shade of purple, and then we have in vain, which is violet, which is kind of a darker shade of purple. So we're just using one purple, but that's the general idea. So you got Richard of York gave battle in vain. Really cool, easy little way of remembering it. And our colours go from top to bottom. So our big arch at the top is going to be Richard, a R, which is for red. Okay? So all you guys are going to do, just like I said, for very small fingers, big people, you can help us out a little bit with this. And all we're going to do is really slowly just peel that red one off. Take your time. Don't try and go, okay? Because it might be stuck to one of the other ones beside it. And we really want to take our time with this. And we're just going to, let me hold it up here. And we're just going to pull, nice and slowly. There's a little hole at the top here. I'll explain that later. We don't have to worry about that now. Pull. There you go. Those we can put in the bin. It can be recycled. And so you can see I've got my nice big, well, it's a white arc, but it will be red in a minute. And it's nice and sticky. So we're just going to put that down. I'm going to turn it up that way so you guys can see it a bit better. No, I'll just turn it this way. Okay. My lighting is very super bright today. Get something darker. Hold on a second, gang. Let me see if I can put this down. Anyway, I got my white and my black, just so you guys can see what I'm doing. As we put the colour on, it'll be much easier to see. So just like I said before, all we're going to do, pinch our fingers into our red, and you can see as you grab it, it spreads out a little bit, which is why it's good to maybe only put one colour at a time and give yourself a little bit more space than I've given mine. I've done it this way so you guys can see. So I can just push all that. Pincer fingers go in and you can spread, and as you go, you don't have to wait to fill it. As you go, you can rub in your little circles. And what's good is any of the sand that spreads out onto the rest of it, you can just scoop it back with your fingers and rub it in. And you'll see our yellow arch, or our red arch, what we're doing, is the biggest one, which means it's going to use the most amount of sand. So this will be a really good way of you judging how much of your coloured sand for this particular one you need. So because every other one is going to use less, if you do this and you find you've still got some reds left over, then for the next one you don't have to put as much out. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm just gathering it up, tidying up my little pile as I go. Now this is really good, super fun, but it requires a bit of patience. Okay? And the other thing is that children will probably do a lot of this. They'll hold their hands up really high. So we got to encourage them to keep your fingers really low to where you want to put it. And then you'll get it in the right place and you won't waste any of it. Now you should have lots in there, so we don't need to worry too much. There you go. So I'm going to go, I think my red is pretty good. So just like I said, I'm going to pick up my red, pour it down close to my red before. And there is our beautiful red. Now I hope you can see what's going to happen. This is going to look amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on at my pace. You guys can, now that we've done our red, I can put that down there, you'll be able to see it a bit better. I will show you, I'm just going to gather. Now why I'm tidying this up is because, like I said earlier, we're going to be using this sand for our second, we've got 2 sand arts today. We're going to be using these colours, the same colours, for our second task. So I'm going to try and keep them as neat and tidy as I can. Because you'll still have some left in your bag, you don't need to worry so much about that. I don't like wasting. Right, good. Should we move on? So we got red, and then we're going to have our orange. So, same again. You just pick a little corner. As you can see, you can have a tiny little piece lifting up like that. That's a really tiny little piece. And then you get your little people in, and they'll just give it a little pull, nice and slowly. The trick is when you pull the first piece off, to go really slow. And then go pull, 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 pull. Same again, it pulls around in a beautiful arc. And when you get to the end, take your time. Off it'll come. Put that to one side. There you go. Another white one. And off we go. So we're going to go with our orange. So, pincer fingers. Now, if you guys haven't poured an orange out, now is the time to get your orange bag. Pour a little piece of orange out. And then pincer fingers in. And away you go. Now don't worry too much if a little bit of the orange goes on the red. If you have rubbed it in really, really well, like we talked about before, there won't be any stickiness left on the red. And even if it blends a little bit, doesn't matter. We don't mind too much. Those colours always, and rainbows always blend into each other. So I'm just keeping my pile nice and tidy, and off I go, sprinkling away. Now I'm going to carry on doing this. You guys can, if you're still working on your red or you've just started your orange, pause me. I won't take offense as always. Don't forget to rub it in. Really important though. Always rub it in. Little circles. You have to do circles. I just quite like circles. Then now I'm going to try and show you this so you can see how it looks really a bit messy maybe. You see it's all blended and all a bit messy. But watch. Because we've done it, you can just tip it over, give it a little tap, turn them back over. So don't worry if it looks a bit, oh, what have I done? The trick is to peel them nice and slow. So I've done my orange. If you guys are probably maybe still working on your reds, that's absolutely fine. Pause me, go to your orange. I'm going to carry on at my own pace. I'll probably be going too quickly for you guys, but that's why you have the pause button. So pause me, and I'm just going to carry on. So Richard, red of orange York, which would be my which is our yellow. Now I'm just going to give it a little pull, and off he comes. Beautiful. Pop him down. I'm going to tidy up my orange a little bit. There you go, and into my yellow. And then we do exactly the same. Nothing changes. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. This becomes a little bit harder because all of the stickers, of course, are yellow. So it becomes a little bit trickier to see just on this one what you covered, but you'll figure it out. Just make sure you put plenty of sand on there. Rub it in. If it's spreading over. Just pull it back onto the sticky bit. Tap, tap, tapping it down. Get it right down there. Beautiful job. Well done, everybody. Super pinching and sprinkling team. Nice. Pop him there. And there is our, now the yellow will be a tricky one to see because the rest of the pieces are yellow. We've got nice yellow in there. And on we go. So if you need to pause me if you're doing your yellow, pause away. Another one. Right, Richard of your gave, which would be a green colour. There we go. I'm just going to push some of my yellows out of the way. Green. Here we go. Off we go. Wow, this is a really bright green. I love green sand. And we keep going. Pinch, sprinkle, and rub. Pinch, sprinkle, and rub. Just like that. Pinch, sprinkle, and rub. Pinch, sprinkle, and rub. My music has stopped, gang. Let me get a bit of that back on if that's alright. So pinch, sprinkle, and rub. Pinch, sprinkle, and rub. Here you go. Beautiful. Let me have a look. Wow, look at those colours. Super job. So, get that one on. We got our green. We're going to take them down. Tap, tap, tap. Here we go. Wow, look at that. Cool. Next one is our battle. And the word battle starts with a B. Now, anybody know a colour with B? Yay, of course it's blue. Beautiful blue. Beautiful. Also a word beginning with B. So, again, a little peel. Pull him off. Tidy up our green. Get that all together in there a little bit. Nice. And then our blue. So we pinch, we sprinkle, and rub. We pinch, sprinkle, and rub. We pinch, sprinkle, and rub. We pinch, sprinkle, and rub. Really easy. A pinch and a sprinkle and a rub. Pinch, a sprinkle, and a rub. You get a bit over there. I think we missed a bit. Give them a little tap. And there is our lovely blue. Now we've already done our, we used our purple or indigo violet as our sample piece, so we've already done that. So there is your beautiful rainbow. Now of course, you've got these lovely fellas, which are our clouds. So our clouds are, well, they can be, well, you can choose your colour. I mean, traditionally, the cloud might be a white. And as you can see, these are exactly the same. It's just a big fancy sticker. Take your time, peel it off. Try not to touch the white sticky bit. It's good if you don't. Now I need my, so I'm going to go. So I'm going to show you my white. I don't have any white on my board. I wanted to save this one to show you. So there's my white sands. Now, as I said, we're just going to pop the bag open, and I'm just going to pour some out. And this is what you guys will have done, hopefully. That's all we need. I'm going to pour a little bit to start, and then away we go. So I'm going to go pinch, sprinkle, pinch, sprinkle, and give it a bit of a rub, pinch, sprinkle. Now, if you want to try and be a bit all cool and creative, what you can do is maybe, because you might have the blue sky in the clouds reflecting, or to have a rainbow you need two things. You need sunshine and you need rain. And rain comes from clouds. So maybe your clouds might be a bit darker. So if you wanted to, you could maybe take a little bit of purple and hold your hand up really high and sprinkle some purple, tiny little few grains on, and rub it in. And it just gives your cloud a little bit of texture, a little bit of depth, and a little bit of colour. You could do the same maybe with a bit of, you know, bit of orange and mix that in. Pinch him, do this, rub it in. Let me give him a little tap and I'll show you what it looks like. So there's my cloud. As you can see, I'll just put a little bit of colour in there with a bit of purple. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other side. So I'm going to gently peel off my label. Again, big people, you can start it off for your little people. and then get them in there, and we're going to tell them, we have to remind them, slow peeling, slow. There he is. And I'm going to do exactly the same. Get our white sand, sprinkle it all over. I'm going to put another little tiny few sprinkles of purple, maybe a cheeky blue, and a little orange in this one. Then some more white, get them right into the corners. Boom, look at that. Beautiful. Rubbing finger, round in circles, pushing it into the corner. You can even get, mix in a few. That's what's great about sand art, is you can kind of go a little crazy if you want to be very creative with it. There are our beautiful sand art rainbows. Now, as you will see, remember we talked about this little hole at the top. The little hole. So all we're going to do is pop that out, push from the back, the little one you pop it out, and in your bags you'll have one of these, which is a little ribbon. And this one is going to go through the hole, just like that. And if you want it long, you can tie a long knot. I'm just going to double them up, put a lovely little double knot in there. And there is our lovely sand art super rainbow. Well done, gang. Super job. Fantastic. So, this was week 11. This is task 1 for week 11. We're going straight into week 11 task 2. We'll stop this video. It's in our next video. But we're going to keep, because we're doing them at the same time, we're going to keep all of our colours out. So, if you're not going to do this one, then hopefully you will have saved your colours in your bags, at least half of them in your bags, and that's cool. You won't need to save this. If you want to try and put the leftovers of this back into your bags, you can, but as long as you've still got about the same amount in the bag, you won't need to worry about trying to save this, okay? If you want to save it for yourself, you can. The other alternative is just mix it all together and have a bit of fun. What you can do with this is you can get some glue and rub it. You could get a sheet of paper with your leftover sand. You get a blank sheet of paper, any color, it doesn't matter. Get some glue and you could write your name with glue. You could just trace a letter or trace an initial and then do exactly the same. Sprinkle and just spread it in and just let it dry. It makes another lovely, lovely piece of art with some leftover stuff because we don't like wasting anything around here. So, like I said, there it is, week 11, task 1. Next week is our last week of the term, but you'll be getting emails about that sort of stuff. And there we go. Shall we have another little close look? There it is, our beautiful, fantastic rainbow. Well done, everybody. Super, super duper job.